He's 15 years old. He's from Victor, Montana. His house is in Lodgepole. His favorite wilderness moment was solo in the sauna.
Hello, I'm Levi Sage. I'm from Victor, Montana, as that was just said. First, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my past. I'm from Victor, Montana, which is at the base of the Rocky Mountains. It's right here. I grew up kind of on the trampoline and doing acrobatics. I did a lot of skiing. I'm getting more into gymnastics and a lot of parkour now. For school, went to private school for elementary and some of middle. Then I went to public school in 7th grade through 9th grade, and that's when I came to Eagle Rock. For healthy life choices, my first one is self-control. I think, personally, I did pretty good with self-control and patience. I think I naturally have quite a bit of patience for people. When arguments started up in the group, I usually tried to stay out of them quite a bit. I didn't really like to jump in or start arguments a whole lot. But I did get sucked into some, and I got involved in some. I think that happens to everybody. You really have to preview what you say and do, and know how it will affect other people. You have to work on tone and intent for that. The second one is expanding your comfort zone. I really like to expand my comfort zone, but mainly I just did this in the area of trampoline. For example, doing my first doubles, or just throwing some new crazy twists in there. But wilderness gave me a lot of new opportunities to expand my comfort zone. For example, I'd never done solo before. I was a little bit skeptical at first. I didn't really know how I'd like it, but I ended up really liking it. I really found it nice to have 2 days alone. I guess 3 days. I'm not sure what that's classified as. Rock climbing. I'd done some rock climbing indoors at just climbing walls. I was pretty good at it, but never outside on actual rocks. I think it's really fun. I was pretty good at it. I was the first to summit one of the climbs, and I got to name it. I named it Sage Hill for a super amazing giant extreme. Sage is also my last name, in case you didn't know. Another expanding my comfort zone is helping Shemai down. For those who don't know, she sprained her ankle, and we had to help her down like 5 miles down the trail. And I'd never done anything like that before, and that was a good experience, just helping her down and expanding my comfort zone that way. Anger management. I think I do really good with anger management. Like I said, I have a lot of patience. I think it's pretty hard for me to get really, really mad at someone, but it can happen. In gathering, if I do have a big issue with someone, I'll just bring it up at a circle or a gathering. Overall, for healthy life choices, what I learned is your decisions will affect you in the future. You have to learn how to preview what you say and do, and know how it will affect you and others in the future. Think about how the others will respond and be affected. Be aware of yourself. For some of my future goals, just become a leader in life, expand my comfort zone, try new things, and get better at old. And another one is just find the ideal job/career for me. I think right now it's along the lines of acrobatics, teaching acrobatics and gymnastics. That could change at any time. I change a lot about that stuff. that could change at any time. I also want to learn how to do a flip on the ground in the next 2 days. I'm really into that. So thank you all for coming and listening to my POL.
Questions are now open to the audience.
Levi, come back.
Levi, go back.
Considering that I actually am the mentor, and for me, I actually take this process really serious. Try to give me pointers or like, how can I help you out when you're going through a time?
Just encourage me to explain stuff to me so I'm not really confused. Just stuff like that. Make me feel comfortable. Just do what you can to help me. Stuff like that.
What does it look like when you finally do run out of patience?
When I finally do run out of patience, well, I'll just, it probably might not look like much from the outside. I'll probably just go away, kind of exclude myself, and just, I'll be thinking some bad thoughts. I'll definitely take it up at gatherings and circles like that. But on the spot, I don't think I would really act out a whole lot to the person speaking to me. Yeah.
How did you enjoy the challenge?
The challenge?
Yes.
Well, certain things that were challenging, like rock climbing, I really liked the challenge. For hiking with a 50-pound pack for 25 days was a not so meaningful challenge, I think. But overall, I think the challenge was good, and I liked it. All right, who else?
What do you think is going to be hardest for you here at Eagle Rock?
I think being the hardest here at Eagle Rock, it's a tough one, I think. Geez. I'd have to think about that, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Could you say a little more about what it's like growing up in Victor, Montana?
Yeah, Victor, Montana is a tiny town. There's not a whole lot going on in Victor or Montana in general. I'd go skiing a lot on the weekends. That's just basically what I did. I jump on the trampoline like all day. Private school was fine. I kind of liked it. There were some ways there it was good and bad. You'd go outside in school a lot, and then in public school I didn't really get to go outside at all. You go hiking, stuff like that. Yeah, it's small mountain.
Crowell. She's 15 years old. She's from Spruce House, and her favorite wilderness moment was writing a drill. She's from Philadelphia.
Hello everybody.
Hi.
I am Nia, and before wilderness, I never gone camping in my life. Never in my life. I won't. Let me say it again, never. I was born in Redding, California, growing up there until age 7. Then my younger brother, Ronan, and I moved to the Bay Area in Oakland, California. I'm going to talk about how I got here. My teacher, Patchett, saw I needed help in school and that I needed community. And I needed community, so then Anita, Patchett, Denny, Miss Carter became a team Nia. And they worked with others to get me into ERS. Before that, I had no motivation to finish school. Patchett knew someone who worked here, and he helped me apply. This is a lesson I learned on Wilderness. On Wilderness, I had to learn to trust my patrol and instructors. This wasn't easy for me because I did not know them yet. At that point, the only people I trusted was my family. But at Lost Creek, my family was miles and miles away. After a week in Wilderness, one night at 11 p.m., I woke up to lightning flashes in my face. And I learned that nature doesn't care about anybody or anything. I was afraid in that moment. I started singing, then it began hailing, so then I started singing and praying at the same time. We stayed in lightning drill for half an hour. That lightning was right above us. I could not yet trust that Matt and Brian could keep me safe. I looked for the moon, and I saw it clearly past the tall trees. Lightning strikes in front of the moon. That's when it stopped hailing, and flashes were still happening. That was the craziest night in Wilderness. I learned to stay calm when everything's going crazy. When times get rough, I can look back on that night and know that I can get through that struggle. If I can get through that struggle, I can get through anything that comes my way. I got better at motivating myself to try something new and push past my limits. The day of rock climbing, I was so afraid of heights, constantly thinking something bad would happen. I decided not to give in to my fear. I decided landing back on the ground after every huge slope. I was so proud to have taken a chance. I learned to take risks and challenge myself. For once in my life, I enjoyed being scared until I got to the hard rock and started screaming and crying. One thing that will push me out of my comfort zone at ERS will be being myself. I will not change who I am to impress other people, being okay with myself. I've become a more communicative person ever since patrol hours. And yelling and screaming did not solve much. Sitting next to each other, we expressed ourselves. Frustration, anger, and hostility came out when things were getting out of control. Being on Wilderness changed the way I handle conflict and confrontation, teaching me it's better to let things go than to hold things in and explode. My goals are to graduate high school with A's or B's, get better listening to music, singing, and writing, get fit, keep doing yoga, eat healthy, help out the environment as well as animals, help others, and be less self-centered. Thank you very much to all the people who got me here. Not everyone is here, so I just want to be grateful for everyone who just supported me and encouraged me the whole time, no matter what, when I was having a hard time. They just never gave up on me. So thank you to the whole team, Nia, everyone here. That's just welcome. Thank you so much.
Can you explain your visual?
Sure. Well, this is the beautiful blue sky, and somehow thunder just came. The skies turned gray very quickly, within a snap of your fingers. And I put a star by my schoolhouse because I really want to get a good education. And I saw so many beautiful flowers, and it was really just nice. And this was the rock climbing thing. And it was so big. It was like a huge part of the trip for me because it really pushed me past my limits. This is a tree, the tall trees that I was talking about. This is like the moon. I was singing and stuff because I like to sing, and I felt that if I was going to die, I'd sing before I died. And I was praying and stuff. And yeah, so this is the moon. I love the moon. It's very beautiful to me. And the journeys, it's never in a straight line. The best journeys are not always in straight lines. And that's for sure. And I love music. It's all around me. And I want to be myself. Because nobody does it better. That's what it says. And then I saw so many beautiful butterflies. It was like amazing. And I just put stars all over the place because it was like really like a wonderful habitat to live in for a while. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the best place for an animal to live. I wish I could be an animal for a day and just live their life in nature. And yeah, this is lightning strikes. See, I was very terrified. But lightning is a part of nature. And I'm not afraid of it because I trust that I can do the right things to be safe. And that is basically, and this is the ground. See, I always like to walk and ask about things, so everything just being in nature was just making me just so alive. I was so happy to be there. So yeah, this is my visual. Thank you guys so much, and thank you so much for just my instructors taking me on this trip and supporting me the whole way and showing me that I can do this. Matt, Kat, and Brian, you guys are the best. And Anita, thank you so much for just helping me with everything. Thank you to Tanya and Gilbert, everyone who's here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you're feeling down at the house and you're going through struggles, what is one thing that help you as your hospital?
I guess just like really motivated me, like to just try new stuff and like wanted to do activities with me and stuff and like listen to music with me. That will always help. Like that would be great. And just listening to me and like just giving me support.
We have time for one more question.
Yes.
Thanks, Nia. That was awesome.
You are so welcome. Thank you.
I'm wondering, what do you think people don't see about you that you want them to know?
Well, I think I'm a good person, and I may not act like it all the time, kind of like distance myself. But if you guys ever need something, like I'm always here. Like I'll always be your friend and stuff.
Let's give it up for you.
Gilbert Salter, he is 16 years old. He's from Inglewood, California. His house is J-Town. His favorite memory on Wilderness was cooking for my patrol. Let's give it up for Gilbert.
Thank you for coming to my payroll. I'm going to talk about what I learned on Wilderness. Well, what I learned on Wilderness was my anger and attitude. Well, I learned how to control my anger and attitude because me and one of my other patrol members had a conflict of me getting tired of one of my patrol members singing constantly. Well, it was at that time, and well, we both got tired of each other, and I guess we just wanted to fight. And well, at the moment, we were both arguing, and we were coming close to each other, but then our instructors held us back, and we both walked away. And we haven't talked for a cool minute until we talked until the second resupply. We both apologized and started working together more often on patrol. And how can this connect to Eagle Rock is say if I have a conflict with another student. If I get into a conflict with another student, I don't know how to control my anger and attitude at the moment, and I'll walk away at that time, and as I'm calmed down, I'll find a way to fix it and go find that student at the moment and see if we can work things out and become to know each other or not talk at all. Well, words because I feel like people will listen to you more often if you don't use foul language against them because they'll feel attacked and like kind of embarrassed or something. And if you don't, they'll listen to you more and not care because at the moment I could tell if you're listening to me or you don't care at all. Example, one of my patrol members hid a hot cocoa in his pocket. And it was the last of the hot cocoa. And it started a conflict by another patrol member wanting the hot cocoa. And they took it to a strong circle, so I got really frustrated and I had my thought in it. And I was using foul language, so I felt like they weren't listening to me at the moment. And I checked myself and said again that without using foul language, I felt like they listened to me more. And really paid attention instead of not caring and just being like, oh, whatever. Well, what else did I learn? And this was being engaged in my whole patrol. Was participating in the group and like coming from my patrol and doing whatever I do for my patrol and giving them water whenever they need it or if they feel dehydrated. Like one of our patrol members, Shemai, she felt really hydrated and me and a couple of other patrol members went down like a half a mile and a mile to get water and come back up and give her water because she really felt hydrated. And it was kind of heavy because I was weak at the moment, carrying those heavy packs. And I expanded my comfort zone, waking up early, carrying those heavy packs, and living with people I never knew at the moment and having arguments with them. And hearing their mouths like every day in their arguments, which I really got frustrated by. I really felt like I could be myself and my truly self with them, and I accepted them for who they are, and I hope that they accepted me for who I am. And things that I enjoy doing is like drinking on special occasions like birthdays and holidays, smoking weed, bumping music, sitting on my couch, eating cereal, watching movies. I like playing the drums, making beats, music. I like watching sports like baseball, football. My team's the Raiders and 49ers. It's really hard to choose between them. And my goals for this is to stop drinking and smoking weed. And the reason I had the struggle is because I've been through the struggle and I know how it feels for some of you that have been through the struggle. And one of my other goals is to graduate from this school in what's called Pomona. And that's my PLO. The questions are now open to the audience. What is one thing you want to bring to the community? One thing I could bring to the community is care, friendship, and whatever you guys need to do, I'll help you. I'll try to help you.
Tell us about the struggle.
Well, the struggle is, like, for example, at home, I hear my sister's mouth every day, and having arguments and conflicts, being kicked out. And I'll just leave. I won't come back for like weeks or so, and they'll be really worried about me. And I'll be caught up in things like being pulled over and police harassing me, and other conflicts that I really can't say. So, yeah.
What can we do to make you feel more welcomed in Juniper?
Well, if I'm feeling frustrated or down, you can try to help me out, like calm me down, or when I'm feeling off focus, say like for class, just like tell me, Gilbert, keep your head in the game and focus on your work and just finish.
What are you gonna do for yourself to stay strong where you are?
Well, focus on me and some others who I care about and just get my stuff done. Pretty much.
So your first week here, you were pretty quiet and you weren't showing up to things on time. You racked up a lot of things. And it sounds like from the meeting on Wednesday night, that sounded to be kind of a pattern. Like sometimes you wouldn't wake up. And I haven't heard that that's happened so far, maybe it has, but I'm curious, what have you learned about being on time and what that shows about your responsibility and your ownership of your own education?
I wake up on time because thanks for my mentee, Christian. He wakes me up and well, to try to get on time, which I am focusing on more instead of doing all these deans, so I won't be on campus restriction. And just, be early on time.
What's going to keep you motivated for you to get your diploma?
Well, I have the help of my mentor keeping me motivated and myself, keeping myself motivated is to do good and not mess up here and do something I will regret here and just regret it.
What do you bring to Eagle Rock that will help us build a strong community?
I'll bring my help. If you guys need help with the community, like clean up or things or situations that are happening or different causes that have to help with that.
To introduce you to Javonnie Campbell. She's 16 years old. She's from Harlem, New York. She's in P-Roll. Her favorite wilderness memory was rock climbing, flying cookie. Let's give it up for Javonnie.
My presentation is on who I was before Eagle Rock and who I want to be after. When I entered high school, I just came out of surgery and I just wanted to fit in anywhere. When I got to high school, I liked to party and listen to music, so I went to school for musical theater. I went to a high school that had 7 other schools in it, and after a while, I started to hate it. I started cutting with my friends and hanging out, and either I was with my friends outside or I was always home. During wilderness, I learned what living in a community was actually going to take. Waking up and packing up was a struggle for my patrol. We would always procrastinate at the last 5 minutes and never get to camp on time. And at Eagle Rock, I know that I'm going to have to communicate and work with others to get things done. I also learned how to expand my comfort zone. When I didn't trust a lot of my patrol members when I first got with them. I didn't want to talk to them. I wanted to just exclude myself from everything. So on rock climbing day, I took the chance and I rock climbed blindfolded. I had to trust 2 of my patrol members to guide me up and down the rock. One would bailey me and one would tell me directions and whip my hands and feet. I was terrified and thought I was going to die that day. But in the end, I got down safely and I got a lot of people to trust in me and I trusted a lot of my patrol. I learned what the consequences of my actions and words were. One day, I was an aggravator and I had to lead my group to go to our next campsite. Everybody thought I was leading them the wrong way and I didn't know where I was going. So instead of them approaching me in a nice way, they was yelling and screaming and I felt attacked. So I started yelling and screaming back and I walked away. I didn't like dealing with conflict or even arguing with them. I learned that it's better to talk it out, that yelling and screaming was not getting me anywhere in my patrol. So at gatherings, I learned how to stand up for myself more and bring up problems that I thought was necessary. I learned that respecting people and talking to people kindly got more people to listen. When I was home, I didn't talk to people or think. If I had a conflict, it was just I had a conflict and I dealt with it. My goals for while I'm at Eagle Rock is to stay open-minded and deal with conflict better. I want to practice my moral and ethnic codes. One of them is that everything happens for a reason, and when things happen, you can't go back and change it. You can only fix the problem you have. And I want to take as many classes as possible. I am really open-minded to learning new things, and I want to just be engaged in classes. I want to learn different languages and continue on my music, because that's what motivated me all my life. After Eagle Rock, I want to take a year off of school. I want to volunteer and do internships and travel and stay into gymnastics. After that, I want to go to college. I don't know what I want to pursue or major in yet, but I want to either be a translator, because I'm really interested in language and how everybody speaks a different language. I want to continue my music and become a singer, or become an actor, or a hypnotherapist, because I really think that was cool. But thank you for listening to my farewell, and I want to thank LaTanya and Gilbert for accepting me, because LaTanya knows that my mom was not letting me come.
Down here. What are you most excited for while you're here?
I'm excited for the classes. I like the way the schooling is different. Like, you can take a knitting class for geometry. I find that really cool.
When will I see you in music business?
I don't know. I'm really shy when it comes to singing, but sooner or later I'll open up. I'm really fast at getting to know people and opening up faster.
When you come to a point where you have to argue with someone, how can you avoid it?
I usually try to just try to hear other people's point of views and where they're coming from, instead of just always attacking and stuff. So just listen more. Isaiah.
Did that get you off the rock spot moment?
And Jamie.
You talked a little trust, so what does trust look like in your house here?
Trust is people that I can just come to and talk to, and everybody won't know everything I talk to them about. I think that's a really big thing for me, is gossip and stuff. I don't like it. So just staying, I don't know, just keeping it, if I talk to you on a personal matter, just keeping it between us, that would be a big trusting thing for me. And I don't know, guide me and hold me accountable when I'm wrong to things, and when I'm wrong in my actions. Yeah, that's it.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Can you say something more about the blindfolding? Did you volunteer for that, or was that an exercise to help you in some way?
For the blindfolding thing, I did the hardest rock first, because I wanted to get the hardest one out of the way. So on the easiest one, I was oh, that's not going to be a problem for me. So I was what can I do to challenge myself more and put me out of my comfort zone? So I volunteered to do it blindfolded. And Jamie wanted to baby me, and Isaiah wanted to guide me up and down. So I really had to put a lot of trust in them. So.
What's going to keep you here in Eagle Rock?
I don't know. I want to graduate and be able to go to college, so that's one big thing for me. And I don't know. The classes, I'm always interested in learning new things and new ways.
Let's thank Javonnie for a wonderful.
He's 17 years old. He's from Aurora, Colorado. He's in J-Town. His favorite wilderness memory was solo. Let's give it up for Yeshra.
guys? Thanks for coming to my POL. Let's get started. First up is my past. Well, I'm from Aurora, Colorado, like I just heard. And I lived there all my life, and before Eagle Rock, nothing really interesting happened except for I was doing bad at school due to my behavior. So I needed a change, and that change was Eagle Rock. But let's get started on what I learned on Wilderness, because that's what this thing's about. What I learned about healthy life choices. First off is my self-control. I learned that you need patience and self-control to not anger the person a person when they're holding you back from your goals. For example, a patrol member would be working really slow in the morning and holding me back from getting to the next campsite on time. And you can't always be aggressive to them because they just stopped working in total. So I had to find a way to motivate them by showing them how it would benefit them to work faster. And, you know, it's a great tool to use to make people do what you want. My second one was expanding my comfort zone. I learned that I was capable of living with so many different people. I mean, that was expanding my comfort zone, living with all these people. And it's pretty crazy. For example, this whole wilderness trip. A little more specifically, the banquet, just knowing that I did it, and I could barely live with my family, but I lived with 9 strangers for 24 days. It's pretty crazy. And third one's my overall attitude and anger management. What I learned from that, my overall attitude, was that I was listed as mean, I didn't care, and I was also known to be a good leader and a hard worker. For example, feedback day. On Wilderness, my patrol members listed all these things on my feedback thing, except for hard worker. I saw that on myself from day-to-day interactions, by seeing myself from day-to-day things. Like, I was always the first one to be, I was always one of the first ones to wake up in the morning. I was always one of the first ones to be done packing, and always one of the first ones to actually do my mini-solo question. So I wasn't all that bad, but that's, stuff I learned. Let's move on to my 3 goals. My first goal is I want to finish high school, because I think that would be pretty rad. My second goal is to get a job that I completely hate. And my last goal is, just have a pretty calm, cool life. Pretty awesome to have that too. And, I drew that because I didn't want to do that road thing that everyone else does. And it's like an eagle rocking out, or eagle rock. So, yeah, thanks. Yeah. And that's my POL. Thanks for coming, dudes.
Question aloud to the audience.
What are you gonna contribute to Juniper House and to Eagle Rock? Like, what are you something that's good at, that you're good at, that you want to bring here?
Well, in Wilderness, I solve problems like frequently, almost all of them. So I guess I can do that.
From the few interactions that I've had with you, I've kind of noticed that you almost like go out of your way to be funny, and it's sometimes disrespectful. I don't know if it's like a sarcastic thing or not, but I notice that in the house a lot. And I'm not sure like what it roots from, but I'm wondering like what are you going to do to work on that? And if you didn't know that, like why do you think you didn't recognize that?
Because just a sarcastic person. But I can probably try not to be sarcastic to you guys. I can, be normal. Be chill.
I don't think it's about being normal. It's just sometimes I've noticed in the house that you've been disrespectful, but other people laugh, but not the people that you were disrespecting.
Oh, well, I'm just not really trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to joke. But I can stop it. I'm cool with stopping it. Not like gonna continue if they have a problem.
So we can talk later.
Okay, I asked you this before, but what does having a chill life mean to you?
I know you asked that before, which is why I didn't say chill life.
Oh,
I
what
said
did you
taking
say?
it easy.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
What's the difference?
Well,
Taking it easy, chill.
I don't want to be stressed out all the time. Or, be
Well, based on you and Rebecca's conversation, you have come up with this difference between a chill life.
Oh, there's no difference. I just phrased it differently.
Oh. So what does it mean?
It means I want to be happy in life, not really be stressed out all the time. I wanna be my-
What was your least favorite part of wilderness trip?
People.
What is something you could bring to the community, or at least to each and every one of us in this room?
Each and every one of you?
Yeah, that's a lot of this. We are a community, so.
Yeah, I guess. Like I said, I can problem solve like where conflicts out because I go right into it on a non-biased way. And I don't know, I don't know each and every one of you. I don't know if I can contribute the same thing for each and every one of you.
What would you change to do that?
How would I try to do that?
What would you change to do that?
Okay. Well, I guess I can get to know you guys better. That's a big change. Yes, cool.
I just want to say that I respect your honesty, and I think that's the best asset you can bring to this community is honesty. So, thank you.
Thank you.
You said you don't want to get a job that you absolutely hate. What's an example of
So I
a
don't
job
absolutely.
that you, yeah, that you don't absolutely hate? I wrote it. Don't.
Thank you.
I just missed the-
And what was the question?
Like, what's a job that you don't absolutely hate?
I don't know. I can do most jobs. It's just that I don't like. I guess it'd be like a job where the atmosphere feels more chill than strict all the time.
All right. So, like, let's say you get a job. You're not always gonna work with somebody that you like. Let's say it happens here at Eagle Rock. You're in a class with somebody that you don't like. So how are you gonna control yourself from, like, spazzing out on them?
Well, I had a job before with people I didn't like at Kaiser, and it was a group working place, and I have control of myself. So I think I already got that in the bag, right?
But do you still know how to work with them?
Yeah, I work efficiently. In wilderness, I work efficiently. I can do it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what does stress you out?
People.
People, well, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like,
People are
I don't know, a lot of things, but I can control it and, you know, not really show it all the time.
Well, you seem to be very disciplined in many ways.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that'll work for you. And not being distressed.
Last question.
Okay, what's something that you like to do for yourself that makes you feel accomplished?
That I like to do for myself makes me feel accomplished. I don't know, I don't think I've ever done really something for myself to make me feel accomplished.
I encourage you to experiment.
Yes, thank you, Yeshra, for a wonderful